for this one. Review report. YouTube didn't send me a notification until the show is almost over. You know, I would be and complain and talk about, YouTube won't notify you. But I think I know what they're doing. I think they don't notify you exactly the moment when I go live or like when I push the button to schedule it. I think they just kind of space it out for whatever reason. So like I've got 350,000 people that follow, right? So you probably get the lion's share of those people are gone. They don't want to have anything to do with crypto, and they just have me as a subscriber. That's fine. But I think what they do is they like notify, you know, a certain segment of people, and it's probably randomized. And then they'll say 10,000 people on the time it goes live. And then after like 10 minutes, and they'll say, hey, also, and we'll notify these people. And then 30 minutes, then an hour, then 3 hours out, and 6 hours out, because you can kind of see how it works. I don't think it just goes straight up to that. I wish they had an option where people could say, you know, subscribe to this, notify me, and then also like notify me 24 hours within or at time of live stream. That'd be great, right? So I think people like to watch the live streams and ask their questions, and I can try to answer them. But that's how YouTube, I think they works. Silver something says, nothing is off. The market and economy is doing fantastic. Sure. Esquire. T&D. Amy's here. Cat's here. Drive safe. Yeah. Everybody drive safe. Amy, just listen, hands off while driving. Yeah. That's the great thing about these shows. You don't have to really watch too much. You just can listen. Speech ROTH IRA. Uzi, time to DCA. Yeah, I mean, I picked up a bunch a couple of days ago, then it dipped again. That was on Wednesday. And Thursday it dipped even harder, but today I'm feeling pretty good about it. Yeah. So yeah. Mr. Technogoody quotes George Orwell. The party told you to project the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command, and people did it. You have to question everything. Like, like taxes. You have to question yourself. Like, where do my taxes go? Are they being used to the best of the country's abilities? And that's just not for the United States. That's for every different place that's out there. Like, if you're a citizen of the UK, Australia, Canada, America, Spain, wherever, do you really feel like your tax dollars are at work for the benefit of yourself? You think it's being doled out adequately? No one's perfect, but do you think it's like 90% perfect of where it should be used for the citizens, or do you just think it's being wasted? I personally look all around and I see nothing but waste with everything that has to do with tax dollars. I'm like, this is supposed to be used for America and the advancement of it. It seems like that is not happening. Get off my soapbox and stop doing that. Yeah. Okay. Everyone's doing well. It's good. Yeah. Still one says part of the market jump must be connected to strike somewhat. Yeah, that was pretty fast. 3 days. Pretty good. Now let's see if tensions can cool even more so in the Middle East. Did anyone buy the dip? I had no cash. I bought a little bit. I've been dollar cost averaging since 2022. So, I mean, there's only so much I can put in every day. Still one says, I certainly can't believe anything from the Biden-Harris administration at this point. I mean, you can't lie all the time. And it's not like the Trump camp is like the most honest people as well. They're all politicians, right? Does anybody think that all politicians tell truths all the time? I mean, that's just how it is. I'm getting so tired of the discourse between the candidates. I just want to just say, okay, who's going to win? Show me who it is, and I'll just go that route. So yeah, my bank looks like a desert or dessert. Oh, a desert. If anyone has Solana, Bitcoin is good. Hello, everybody. Joey says, I do like some of these Bitcoin layer 2s. The base Bitcoin is interesting too. The base Bitcoin is interesting. I'm just too centralized for me. Yeah, layer twos are going to do quite well. And I think, some people describe it to me like, well, it's like the internet, and it has their protocols. We always say HTTPS, HTTP, TCP/IP, all those 3-letter, 4-letter words. They say, but you understand, like layer twos are what really runs, what's essentially what would really run the internet. And that's what it's going to be for Ethereum. Ethereum is just a settlement layer. I'm like, I get it. I do. But I just don't know. For me, I look at it like what is absolutely needed. What's absolutely needed, I think personally, is payments. Payments will do quite well. I was talking to Steven over in Puerto Rico, and he said, whoever can crack the code of getting Visa and MasterCard out for debit card and credit card transactions, he goes, we got to pay like almost 3% for that. Because if someone could just give us to 0.5%, we'd all go that route. And that's for people who are small business owners, large business owners. And I have to agree. It just seems like we just can't get that. And that's why I look at stable coins, and I know people say, well, why are those so big? And I think that if we can start to use, if a lot of these different small businesses, even medium to large businesses, start to actually use stable coins, and they're on a layer that isn't super expensive, that will be the new paradigm. And there's a reason why Visa is partnering up with all these Ethereum right now. I think there's a couple others, because they don't want to be cut out. They see where things are going. They want to be in the middle of payments, and they don't want to get passed by, right? They don't want to be the 8-track player when the tape comes out. And for those who have no idea what I'm talking about, it's just music, and then it came CDs, now MP3s, and the satellite radio, and now everything's digital. Just how it goes. Green screen moved again. Yeah. Lolo says, "Are you in NVIDIA?" No, I'm not. It's just not my thing. I missed out. I am in MicroStrategy a little bit. That's been working out pretty well for me. YouTube never notifies me. Well, that sounds about right, actually. Ed says, "You're really going to walk away when the bull heats up? Viewership spikes during the time and you will lose revenue." Yeah. Look, I'm fine. I'm going to be okay. So, yeah, I mean, it has to be that way, because if I just stick around for the bull market, I'll probably do something stupid like I did in the last one. And I think when you have somebody who you're watching and they tell you, like I sold, then you keep seeing them every day and they're talking about something else, you're like, yeah. But if I just step away, and maybe like once a week, I put out the same video. Like someone recommended this to me. They go, "Rob, if you're going to step away, then at least put a video on loop of the day that you sold. So every week people will be reminded, like, hey, I sold at this point." It'll be rough because, people will call me whatever they call me. It doesn't really matter. But, I'm not going to hit the top, but people will see it and they'll say, well, maybe as time went on, it actually did work out. Or maybe we're in a super cycle. Who knows? I don't know. Diddy joke. It's pretty funny. What are your plans with your ETH? It's the same plans I have for all my crypto. Sell 80% of it. That's it. Spain, you can see where your taxes go. It's not perfect compared to the US. It's a lot better. You know what else is better? Apparently in Spain, parts of EU, large parts, and everything outside the United States. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you're from outside the United States, tell me if this is true or untrue. When I send somebody a payment via ACH or whatever, bank-to-bank transfer, it takes between 24 and 72 hours, depending if it's the weekend. If it's like the day, it'll still take sometimes 36 hours to get from one person. It's not instantaneous. But people have said to me that, like, that's weird because where I'm at, Portugal, Spain, France, UK, apparently you can do a bank-to-bank transfer and it's almost instantaneous. I'm like, really? That's crazy. So if that's true, let me know in the comments section, because I'm stuck in America. America's great. Love America. Here in America, we don't have that option. It takes, like I said, quite some time. And that's why I'm so big on payments. Pow, pow, meow, meow. So did you say you're getting out of the markets now? No. There's a link in the description, and it's titled is When I'm Going to Sell 80% of All My Crypto. And it takes a look at like 10 or 12 indicators. Once those all hit, then I sell my crypto, bid you adieu, and I watch probably the market keep rising, as I will never time the top perfectly. And then at some point, bear market's coming. It always does. And at that point, I'll come back. So that could be, who knows? It could be 2 weeks. It could be a year. I have no idea. But that's the plan. Good day. Which layer 2s do you own? Who I own a lot. I own, I don't know if, like I bought Polygon or Pole, I guess it's called now, not called Matic. I do hate that about these different projects, you know, transferring everything over because they're going on another chain and you got to go through this whole process. And I'm like, damn it, can you just put out a product where I don't have to keep swapping things out in some wormhole? And hopefully it does. Hopefully it makes it. I know it's supposed to be easy, but it just annoys me. So I have that. I have Arbitrum. I don't have Base because no one owns Base because that's from Coinbase, and they don't have a token with that. I also own layer 2. I own Core, which is a layer 2 solution for Bitcoin, and also Stacks. And I'm sure there's some other ones I'm forgetting right now, but yeah, those are the ones that I own. I'm sure there's some other ones. Where's Raul Paul's banana zone? We're all waiting for it, but who knows? Marty says, Rob, do you still think AI is a good narrative for crypto? Port strikers don't want it, obviously. The port strikers don't want innovation because it takes their jobs, which I can totally understand. But yeah, there was actually there was a thread from Singularity, and I want to go over that thread. And they talk about where they're going with AI and why they have a token and everything else. I think, and if you watch, here, I'll show you. It's all about compute. There's a video I did months and months and months ago. This is on my second channel, Dan Degen. And this is where I go over the more risky plays. And we talk about Aether and why Aether, let me see if I can find it, why Aether is going to do so well. It really comes down to GPUs and how much you can actually squeeze out of their computational force, because they're all underperforming. And it just goes over like why it works, why they bought all these GPUs, and why the token and what it actually does as far as space. So just do a search. Actually, just go to Dan Degen. It's like the 4th video I think crypto can actually do that. It prioritizes time and compute, which apparently is in massive demand to run AI. It's not just as easy as like going, just run this AI. I'll just run ChatGPT on one computer. Vast array. And that's just us getting started. Does anybody use ChatGPT? I use it all the time. All the time. It saves me a lot of effort, we'll say. Danny says, Rob, do you have Radix in your portfolio? I think I used to. I don't think I have any more. Sui, I have some Sui, not that much. Great user, UI, UX, user-friendly, much upside potential. Yeah, everybody's talking about how great Sui is. I mean, even the guys from Coin Bureau seem to like it. So I have a little bit, but I haven't done too much with it. Just watch out. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's going to be a big unlock of Sui. Didn't we talk about this? I feel like we're in a constant Groundhog Day loop. Let's see. That's Arbitrum. Sui. And this is a token.unlocks.app. Oh, wow. Yeah. 18 days. Right now, you've only got, what the? 20% is locked. Oh, wow. You got 50. Here's what you need to know. 28% is unlocked. And they're going to do a big amount in 18 days. So I want to say it's like 83% of the circulating supply, because it's not that much. Here, I'll show you. And I'm not saying that SWI is bad because it's going to unlock. It's just the truth. It's what's happening. SWI. So the circulating supply is like 2.5 million. No, excuse me. 2,763,000,000. 2.5 billion. And total supply is 10 billion. So they're going to unlock another, I think, like 2 billion in 18 days. That's going to bring the price down, because that's how it goes. But after that, might be a pretty good one to run. I don't know. Yeah, MicroStrategy, but it's a good question. Michael, did you see the last video from DBC Crypto about Solana? I'm going to guess it wasn't positive. Yeah, I watched the first one, and I get some of his points. Some of his points aren't not necessarily true, but you have to understand, with Solana and every layer one that's out there, none of them are perfect. They have their faults. They have their problems. I wouldn't say it's an outright scam like DBC Crypto. And I know that Snowden came out and said that Solana was centralized. But I'm like, is it really? Is it really? Let me show you. Like, we did this video about the TANGEM wallet and how you can now stake it. And there's 3 things you can stake with TANGEM, which is Solana, Tron, and Cosmos or Atom. And what we were taking a look at was how to pick the right validator, because you don't want to pick the wrong crappy validator, because if you do, then you don't get as much rewards, right? So we went to this website, Solana Beach, SolanaBeach.io validators. And true, there is this point right here, and we talked about this. The first 19 individuals, they own a big amount. Like Galaxy owns 3%, Helios owns 3%, Coinbase owns 3%, so that's like 10% almost right there, 9.5%. Figment is 2.5%. Ledger, wow, Ledger owns 2.45. Good for Ledger, making money. So let's see, what is that? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 30, roughly 33% in the top 19. Cumulative stake above, and it says right here, this is not me saying it, cumulative stake above forms a super minority. Threat of halt, outside attack, or censorship inside collusion. So now everybody who hates Solana is like, yeah, that's right. Solana sucks. Come on. Like, look, you got BNB, and I know that's more centralized than Solana. Come on. And I take a look at this, and I'm like, is this more centralized? Is this more centralized than Wells Fargo Bank? No. Is this decentralized as Bitcoin? No. No, obviously not. But I mean, if you take a look at the validators, it's a lot of validators. I know people say, it's all just spread apart, and there's like one person controlling everything. I'm like, I don't really think that's true. So yeah, I mean, the top 19, like we just took a look at, that's a 33% roughly. True, it is. And then could you attack it? Well, I mean, you could, but then like, let's play devil's advocate and say the government comes out and says, okay, shut it down, Galaxy. All right. Shut it down, Helios. Shut it down, Coinbase. Shut it down, Figment. Shut it, right? First of all, can they get to those people? I don't know. But then you get all these people that just pick up the slack. That's a lot of validators. I would like to be a validator. First of all, how do they get to be so many validators? You know how much it takes to be a validator for Solana? It takes a boatload of actual Solana tokens. So the next question is, did all these validators get funded by themselves, or do they get a grant? And the last question is, how do I get a grant? I think that's the bigger question. So yes, I see your points on Solana, but I still own a big bag of it, so see what works out. Again, I'm not here to change the world. I'm here to change my bank account. That's about it. And whatever else comes and becomes the great savior of everything, I will put a ton of my funds into it. Just don't know which one that is yet. And there's a reason why I have 70% in Bitcoin. So Rob's loaded. Rob's did okay, but Rob's old. Now Rob is talking in the third person. That sounds weird. Let's see. Rob, drop your bags on the selling is important. You know, I should stop saying the I'm going to dump on you, because really what it comes down to is like, look, all of us here did our job, which was buying in the bear market, right? And when the new people come in, we're like, look, we laid the groundwork for you by investing in these super risky ecosystems, which nobody wanted to do, so the price would go up. And that was our cross to bear, right? Now we're going to pass on those cross bags, and you're going to pick them up and carry them yourselves until the next cycle or evolution. So I look at it like this: like, if it wasn't for us and we were investing into these ecosystems, community and ecosystem would falter. And we're here to bring them up, talk about them, to make sure they don't completely fail, and then off the next part. We can't do everything forever, right? We can't. So that's why we take some profits. And that's what it is. Taxes of America goes to Ukraine. Joby says, please contact me and I can try to give you some help. If this is for somebody else, I mean, I need tons of help here and there, but let's see. Takes a minute? No way. It takes minutes in Europe? How the heck did we get so lost on the banking process here in the United States? Greatest country on the planet. True, but not for banks. All right. That sucks. I didn't know it was that great over there. ChatGPT is great. It is fantastic. Radix is a scam. I've never heard that phrase in crypto. A scam. Sui is super fast. Unlock already happened. That's not what, if you're talking about Sui, and that's not what it's saying here. Unless that was, well, let's see. Burp. Whew. There's sometimes in CoinGecko, if you click on the tokenomics, you can bring it up. If it would work. Let's see here. Token unlocks. SUI. Maybe this was it. Previous event, 1st of October, 114 million. Yeah, maybe that was it. Because I remember it being like around 83% of the circulating supply. So that would put it at what? Almost 2 billion, 1.8 billion, somewhere around there. Now it happened again. Man, they still have that much to unlock. That's crazy. Oh, yeah. 1st of October. That was 3 days ago. Good to know. And now they've got 590,000 sleep per day. But if you take a look at the price action, it's not too bad. How about in 7 days? Look at that. Let's take a month. I'm going to guess $2.76. It's looking pretty good. 3 months, 1 year. Max. Yeah, one of the great things about SWE is that it's not an older crypto. It started out at $1.40. And now we're over here. And it's ranked 26. There you go. Might be a good idea to pick some up. PG Metaverse. Why'd you give them Polkadot? What has Polkadot done lately? Has there been a bunch of partnerships? Have they brought on, I don't know, any kind of like, what kind of upgrades have been going on? I just haven't really heard too much about it. So I don't know who's using Polkadot, but there's a lot of competition. Let's see. Significant unlocks for TIA coming as well. That is true. But not like SWE did. And that was quite a bit. They did pretty well. Whereas I love how all crypto products hate each other. Yeah. Yeah, maybe at some point we should start to like not root for the projects, but root for each other. You know, like maybe instead of saying, it's a scam, it's this and that. It might be. But as like people talk about, and this is another thing, how many people actually talk about selling crypto? I mean, on any channel, it's like rare. I think as people come in and they talk about, selling, instead of like saying, you're weak and paper hands and shouldn't be doing that, maybe you should be like, hey, good for you. Did you do it in a profit? Great. And that's it. Darren says, Rob, you hear the term DCA and DC out, but in your case, when your metrics hit, you'll be out in just a few big licks, not really DCing out. Maybe not. Just depends. But you got to figure, like, if it took me 3 years to DCA in, because I've been doing this since 2022, 3, 4, I probably started selling 2025, that'd be 4 years. I'm not going to be DCing out like over the next year or so. It's going to be pretty drastic. And that's it. So we'll see. But it might be like, who knows? If you DCA in, doesn't mean you got to DCA out exactly. You can take 20%. You do whatever you want to. But me, I'm just getting tired of the industry in general. So yeah, happy Friday. 100,000 sold to be a validator. I think that's what it is. Let's see. Let's see what the requirements are. Solana validator criteria. Ooh, here we go. SOL. Reserve of 0.02. They must have changed. There is no strict minimum amount of SOL required to run a validator on Solana. However, in order to participate in consensus, a vote account is required, which has a rent-exempt reserve of 0.02 SOL. Costs up to 1 SOL per day. Wow. Let's see. Franken Dancer release. That's pretty good. Well, 1 million or less. I got definitely less of that. Huh. 100 SOL or more. 100 SOL or more. Damn it. You know, like on this one, it says you have to have 100 SOL or more. And the one we just took a look at, it was like there was no. I don't know. I'll take a look. Unless someone's got an answer for me. I'll take that. As long as you can link it. If BlackRock owns it, be careful. Sure. Dr. Payne says they traded my Bitcoin for 8 at the bottom of the last dip. That's risky. Let's see how it works out. But I mean, it's not like Cardano's done a lot of great price appreciation. But maybe that's what's in store. Real rate bosses, you need a lot of server power to be a Solana validator. Well, I can get that. Jobs reports are cooked. Hello, everybody. That's it. Stealth staking was way higher too. Learn something new every day. That's it for that one. That isn't too bad, 100 SOL. Anyhow, everybody, thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Time sensitive, all that good stuff. That's it for this one. Everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend. I don't know if I'm doing live streams this one. Got some things going on. So that's it for today. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great rest of the day and weekend.